Hello friends, and welcome to 2021. Wow, it feels good to say that. I think a lot of us thought we would never get here, but here we are. 2020 is behind us, 2021 is in front of us. So I spent some time reflecting on this past year and kind of thinking about what happened and the good and the bad. I think I drew a few lessons from it that could be applied to 2021. So here's a few ways to get the most out of 2021. We do not ask what the meaning of life is. Life asks us, what is the meaning of your life? And life demands our answer. Adaptability was a lesson we all were forced to learn in 2020. Our plans that we had at the beginning of the year were thrown up and tossed away, and they never to return in 2020. We had to learn to change with what was going on in the circumstances around us. I think many of us hope that in 2021 we will not be forced to adapt quite to the same extent that we had to in 2020. I think we all know that it's true that despite our best laid plans, they're not going to go perfectly according to what has been laid out every single time. And I think this is an important lesson that we kind of learned to the extreme last year, is that we have to make the best of what we have been given. Because if we don't, we're just going to keep on waiting and hoping for a future that never arrives. With the hand we have been dealt, we have to do the best that we can. And so that's why I think for 2021, focusing on being adaptable and going with the flow, with dealing with what life has been given us, will be essential for making the most out of it. We saw in 2020 examples of people who made great strides out of using the situation that has been given to them. YouTubers who took off, who had funny skits about what was happening. Business people who got into business of making masks and hand sanitizers. And I think that was a lesson for all of us going into 2021, that as our plans do not go as exactly as we hoped, that we would be able to make the most of them. The mind is not a vessel to be filled, but a fire to be kindled. One of the most amazing things in this world is curiosity and wonder. Every time I look around, I am amazed at what has been given to us. Whether it's walking through the neighborhood or traveling the globe again, whether it's doing a research project at school or learning a new skill, a wonder of the world combined with a healthy dose of curiosity is a sure way to stay optimistic and interested in the life that has been given to you. One way to stir this curiosity is to read a lot of books. I think in 2020, with all the extra time I was given, I would say it was my biggest year of reading ever. And what I found is that by reading more, I was more curious about tons of different topics that came up. So reading books is one good way to become curious. Another way I plan on stirring my curiosity this year is through music. I really discovered music last year as well, and there's so much to learn. There's so just many in-depth, and you can just go for years and years learning new things. Stirring curiosity allows us to be excited about life, excited about what is out there for us to explore. And an excitement and optimism is a sure way to get the most out of 2021. You cannot overestimate the unimportance of practically everything. Going into 2021, I set some goals that I wanted to accomplish. Some things at the beginning of the year that I want to get done this year. One of them was reading more books or playing more music or creating quality YouTube videos. I realized from this quote from Essentialism that going into a year, it is best not to have a list of all these things that want to be done, but come out of it with one or two very, very important things that will be your priority for the year. And I think that priority should almost always be in relationships. Another quote by Greg McCowan from that book says, "What if we stopped celebrating being busy as a measurement of importance? What if instead we celebrated how much time we had spent listening, pondering, meditating, and enjoying time with the most important people in our lives?" Getting the most out of 2021 means not just doing things that will say, wow, what great accomplishments I've done, or how much I've learned. Look at how much knowledge I've gained, or these skills I've known. Look at the trophies I've gotten. It's not what it's about. Getting the most out of 2021 means spending time with the people who are most important to you.
Right. And people will never go out of business.
Because at the end of our life, when we look back, that's what we will remember. That's what will matter to us. So getting the most out of 2021 is not just about adaptability. It's not just about stirring curiosity in our lives, but it's about prioritizing what really will be important to us. So when the busyness of life comes flooding back in, when things start to pick up again, remember that setting your priorities and knowing exactly the few things that you want out of this year will help you get the most out of 2021.